So the question of the day is, do you have a growth mindset or do you have a fixed mindset? This is a big question to answer as you're wanting to grow and scale a business, because if you have a growth mindset, you can overcome any adversity, any obstacle, challenge, setback, and you can really have the capacity to dream a bigger dream. You can see a bigger vision. If you have a fixed mindset, you're oftentimes going to be fixated on the things that are wrong or the challenges. You're going to be looking at things happening to you versus for you. You're going to have a negative perspective on challenge, opportunities, or barriers that you may face. And it's not a negative from a personal standpoint to have a fixed mindset. Most people have a fixed mindset. The difference between those who have a fixed mindset and a growth mindset is just simply a decision. Once you understand that there's a difference between the two, you get the opportunity to decide, which way am I going to choose to think? And what we find when we're consulting entrepreneurs that want to scale their businesses is that oftentimes they don't have a financing problem or a marketing problem or a sales problem. More than anything that we come into, a common challenge is that they have a thinking problem. They have a broken picker. They're just picking the wrong things to focus on. They're picking the wrong things to think about. And if you will make the shift, and it starts with daily habits, it starts with recognizing when you are in a fixed mindset. An example would be the phrase, your perspective determines your path and your pace. If you go back and look at the last 6, 12, 24 months of growth, could you be convicted of being a person that thinks with an open and curious mindset, that's a positive thinker, a person that is opportunistic or an optimist about the things that are available and the things that they're capable of? Or would you, if you were really to look at your thought processes and if you were really looking at your mindset, would you find negativity that has maybe zapped your motivation or zapped your activity level? Maybe you have not necessarily done the things that were most important to grow your business because you were thinking that you had not enough time, or you were giving excuses, and again, it could be very valid excuses, but excuses can also be translated as reasons of why to succeed versus reasons why you can't succeed. So it doesn't mean that just because you have a growth mindset, you're not going to have any more problems. It just means that you're going to attack the problems with a different intensity, a different level of thinking, and that's going to help you to continue to make progress to scale up your business. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the concept around ANTS, automatic negative thoughts, but most people, have automatic negative thoughts. It's just random thoughts that just continue to move closer towards the idea of negativity versus positivity. So if you were just simply going to just recognize, I have negative thoughts and I need to raid those automatic negative thoughts. I need to recognize when I'm having a negative thought. I need to ask the question, is there any other way of looking at this? If I was somebody different, or if somebody else was looking at this situation, would they see it any differently than the way that I'm currently looking at it? Because I may be looking at it from a negative perspective. And then it's initializing a positive response, actually having a counter thought that actually has a positive look on a negative situation or a negative thought. And then deciding to take action, deciding to take decisive action to do all you can do, nothing less, nothing more, will allow you to start challenging those negative thoughts. And if you continue to stay open and curious, I love the phrase that, this is happening for me, not to me. When negative things happen to you that slow down your progress, or you don't get the results from your marketing, or you have a client that asks for a refund, or any of that stuff that's negative, looking at that and saying, this is actually happening for me. This is teaching me something. I'm learning something from this, as negative it can be. The other thing I would just say is that a lot of you may have an employee mindset and you haven't developed a growth entrepreneur mindset. Some of you may have developed an entrepreneur mindset because of the books that you've read, the videos that you've watched, the podcasts that you've listened to, the people that you're talking to. And again, everybody's in a different spot. But what we find a lot of times is that many business owners that want to grow, they still have a employee mindset where they're thinking like an employee, or they're thinking like a small business owner that's a me-focused person versus a we-focused person. And if you really want to grow your business and scale it, you're going to have to develop a growth mindset that's going to lead you towards becoming a growth-based entrepreneur versus being a fixed-based entrepreneur or a negative entrepreneur or a employee mindset where you're thinking about your business as an employee of another company and you're acting like an employee versus acting like a growth-minded entrepreneur. The last thing I just want to share with you is that we have tools to help you to shift your mindset. I'd love to connect up with you. I'd love for you to comment down below if you'd like some more of these resources, and I'd love for you to participate in our upcoming 30-day challenge, because this is going to be a great opportunity for all of us to grow that growth mindset and to develop the skills to do so. So if you have questions, comments, takeaways, put them down in the comments. I'd love to see them and look forward to seeing you all in the challenge.